Excellent! Say what again?
1997's Air Bud is a movie where a dog plays basketball. At least, that's probably what you remember about it. When looking back on Air Bud, one can be quick to dismiss it as just a silly 90s movie, but there's a lot more to it than that. Let's dive on in. The movie starts with Norm Snively, who makes a living as the worst birthday clown of all time alongside his dog partner.
Hey kids, it's Happy Slappy time!
While he clearly doesn't need the dog for a terrible show, Norm blames him for the botched production. It's also implied that he takes his frustrations out on the dog.
Do not make me use this, okay?
Shortly after another failed party, the golden retriever is able to escape due to the clown's negligence. Meanwhile, Josh is a young boy moving to a nearby town following the death of his father. He struggles to move past this and form a new life at school. Eventually, the two cross paths and form a bond over their shared love of basketball. The boy having fond memories of playing the game with his dad, and the dog, well, just being a dog. Josh takes the dog as his own and names him Buddy. Together, they help each other move past their sad stories for a better life, with Buddy overcoming his previous owner's abuse, and Josh coping with his father's passing and joining the basketball team. Speaking of basketball, it's discovered that Buddy actually has a secret talent for the game, and the two lead their team, the Timberwolves, to victory. Air Bud is a movie that I have a lot of nostalgia for. It was one of those movies that I would watch on VHS all the time as a kid. Maybe it was just a fun dog movie for me. However, I find that watching it again as an adult, there's actually a whole lot to love about Air Bud. For starters, from both humans and animals, the acting is actually quite good. The dog that plays Buddy, also named Buddy, does a great job as an animal actor. Turns out he did all his own stunts too, as the credits make sure to mention that no special effects were used for the basketball scenes. Kevin Zegers does well as Josh, and the rest of the child actors are pretty good too. Kid actors kind of have a history of being terrible, so it's nice to see them bringing their A-game. Michael Jeter is great as a scumbag clown. He's such an asshole.
I hate birthday parties! I hate kids! I hate being a clown!
Another standout is Bill Cobbs, who plays Arthur Chaney, a former professional basketball player turned school janitor. He brings a lot of heart to his role.
Whatever happens tonight, this is a team. And that's a victory right there. Now, are you ready to play?
There's also something to be said about the movie's score. It just sounds so classic and heartwarming. There was no reason for it to sound as good as it does. There are layers of story elements in Air Bud that you really wouldn't expect from this type of movie. For example, it's established at the start of the film that Norm beats Buddy with a rolled-up newspaper. Throughout the movie, Buddy steals and hides the family's paper after it's delivered. It's a nice detail and easy to miss as it's played off as a bit of a gag, but it shows the effects of animal trauma and abuse that you wouldn't expect in your typical kids movie. It all comes full circle when Buddy finally destroys Norm's newspaper roll in the final scene. It's also worth noting how the stories of Josh and Buddy are linked with several parallels drawn between them. Both of them spend significant time alone in their new environments, and an abusive authority figure is present in both of their lives. Buddy has Norm, and Josh has his coach. Norm only cares about money, while the coach only cares about winning.
If we're going to make it to the playoffs, we're going to have to start winning.
We are here to win.
Which is why I'm looking for a couple of winners.
Because if you can win on the courts, you can win at life.
Neither of them has any love for how they reach those goals, only the end result. As for the coach, while he's not physical towards Josh, he's still a dick. There is one scene that comes out of nowhere, where the coach just pelts this poor kid Stuart with basketballs after he plays poorly in the game. The kid's crying and he's got a bloody nose and everything. It's terrible.
You can do that.
It's incredibly dark and is never once mentioned again. The next time they play basketball, the coach is rightfully replaced with Arthur Chaney, and that's the end of that. What the hell is with this scene? It's such a radical change in tone from the rest of the movie. Why go to such extremes? The kid and the coach aren't even related or anything. The guy's just beating the shit out of this poor kid. As a side note, this scene also happens to be the most viewed video on my channel. At the time of writing this, it has over 700,000 views, close to the same amount of likes, and has earned me 240 subscribers alone. Y'all are some sick fucks for this one, but I love it. I have to know, why do you people love this clip so much, and how do I get the same attention on the rest of the channel? Anyway, the scene also shows character development for Buddy, as he alerts the principal to the coach's behavior. Stuart getting beaten for a poor game is parallel to Buddy getting beaten for a poor show, and Buddy doesn't want it to happen to anyone else. There are other instances of this too, like how Josh is the new positive figure in Buddy's life, Arthur Chaney is in turn the positive figure in Josh's. It's essentially the same plot for two different characters being told simultaneously. The storytelling is oddly beautiful, which is honestly weird to say about a movie where the poster looks like this. It comes from a time where Disney could take a movie where the concept is as goofy as a dog playing basketball and fill it with so much heart and soul when they really didn't have to. The atmosphere is perfect and works great for the fall season. Air Bud is a good movie. Now, I would be lying if I said the movie didn't have dumb moments, because of course it does.
You check in your rule book, but you won't find anything in there that says a dog can't play.
He's right. Ain't no rules that the dog can't play basketball.
But honestly, when the basketball dog movie turned out as good as it did, I think we can accept a little cheese on the side. Air Bud is a movie that people can be quick to dismiss from its silly exterior. But it's more than just a dog playing basketball. In fact, Buddy doesn't even join a real basketball game until roughly 50 minutes in. Air Bud is a story about recovering from grief, redemption, and second chances. One could say that the movie's existence itself is an example of not judging a book by its cover. But most importantly, Air Bud is a story about loving what you do, no matter what. It doesn't matter how good you are at something. If you love it, do it.
That dog couldn't give a rat's behind about his point average, or if he's MVP. He just loves to play the game.
In the movie, the message is told to Josh regarding basketball, but for the audience, the message can be applied to anything. If you love it and it makes you happy, do it. And that is what Air Bud is all about.
Yes!
But also, the dog can play basketball. How fun is that?
I'm never gonna drop another ball again, Stuart.
Just catch.
You can do that. Just meet the ball.
Catch.
Just running time through a little drill.